The last domino has fallen, people, and it has fallen to Alabama football. Got to get into this conversation right now as we are back on to the hottest show on the streets. Best form of Alabama football news, notes, and information you're going to find. New week, fresh energy, brand new material on In My Own Words, the podcast. Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Go ahead, people, and drop that thumbs up, that like on the show, and subscribe. That tells us here at TDA, gotta continue pumping you the best in content on your Alabama football program. The site here on YouTube, over 7,000 subscribers strong, thanks to you, the fans. Also, if you haven't done so, go ahead and check out our good friends at whitwillsports.com. That being Title Towel, the rally towel with benefits for the avid Alabama sports fan. Just $9.99, but it lasts a lifetime. So if you got pride and purpose for all things Bama, be sure to wave, twirl that towel in the air like you just don't care. Go on to WHITWILSPORTS, whitwillsports.com. Get you a couple of those towels today. Well, the first major update in terms of Crimson Tide football comes from Ian Rappaport, the national insider for NFL Network, and he talks about one Tua Tagovailoa, the former Crimson Tide quarterback. It's only been 2 months since he sustained a dislocated right hip with a fracture in the posterior wall against Mississippi State back on November 16th of 2019. However, huge news has come out that the process of the rehab has gone exceptionally well. And according to Tagovailoa's agent, Lee Steinberg, we could be looking at a pro day by mid-April for Tua in terms of getting out there on the field, maneuvering, throwing for NFL teams. We don't know the exact date, but according to Rappaport, Steinberg has said we could be looking at a pro day for Tua by mid-April for him to go out there, maneuver, and throw for NFL teams. He will not be throwing at the NFL Combine, but this is a big deal for Tua, having this opportunity to get back out there and show what he can do in proving that his top 5, the top 10 pick dream still alive and well. So big news there in terms of the update on Tua. But speaking of being a passionate, well-rounded Alabama fan, you gotta get your hands on a subscription to touchdownalabama.com, Touchdown Alabama magazine, and here's why.
Touchdown Alabama magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month, or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
As we dive back into the conversation here on In My Own Words, something that's bigger than the Clemson Dynasty hype train being stopped, and something that's bigger than having Joe Brady being taken away from LSU as he goes to the National Football League with the Carolina Panthers. The final domino has fallen in favor of Alabama football. Najee Harris will not go to the NFL draft. He will be back at Alabama for his senior season, 2020. This is huge for the Crimson Tide, as reports have confirmed this has all come out. And for a lot of people, I myself included, we thought that, Najee would be like a lot of his current and now former teammates that went on social media to make the move, or whether they would declare for the draft or come back for a senior year. I thought Najee would make that move, but late in the game, I kind of thought about, remember what he did in the 2017 recruiting cycle? I mean, he did not make a spectacle of anything, just got on the plane. Many people felt like he was going to go to Michigan and was down to Michigan and Alabama, and somehow, some way, he just ended up in Tuscaloosa. Didn't make a big fuss over it, didn't make a big deal of it, just got to Alabama and put his nose down and started working. How fitting it is that the same thing happens here. He's made a couple of cryptic tweets back and forth, but nothing formal, nothing too major. And now he will be at Alabama for his senior year, will show up at spring ball, ready to go and get to work. Now, he was at home back in California for a couple of days after meeting with the Alabama coaching staff, trying to gain some wisdom, glean some understanding on what should he do. What should his next move be? And I was told by highly respected, trusted, credible sources, tenure within the program, that the coaching staff sold Najee Harris on. If you come back, we will make you the focal point. We will make you the center of the offense. And they sold him this with Mac Jones being the quarterback. So without saying it, they basically told Najee, we are going to put you in every possible situation to potentially win the Heisman for the 2020 season. And that is fantastic, seeing how here is somebody that had his first career 1,000-yard campaign in 2019, 1,224 yards rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns, caught 27 passes for 304 yards receiving with 7 scores. So from the LSU game through the rest of the season, he became a tenacious player. And if he runs with that type of power, strength, and determination, if he runs the way he did from LSU to finish 2019, if he runs that way throughout the entire 2020 campaign, I have no doubts this young man will be a first-round pick in the draft for 2021. No doubt in my mind, 2021 draft, Najee will be a first-round pick. He was given a 3rd to 4th round draft grade in this endeavor by the junior committee. Najee didn't like that. His mom didn't like that. So he's coming back to make sure he is going to be a first-round guy. And with that being said, seeing how the likes of Jerome Ford has transferred to Cincinnati, Tre'Davious Towson will be moved back to wide receiver. You've got 7 scholarship backs on the roster. We'll see how this goes. What will become of Brian Robinson? I personally would like to see him go to fullback H-back. Just seeing how the number 2 guy behind Najee, people want to see more, is Trey Sanders. And then you have Keelan Robinson, Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, and Kyle Edwards. But we shall see what happens. Just very excited that Najee Harris has chosen to make that move to return to the Crimson Tide for his senior season. Also, gotta give a shout out here to our guys at Utero Hibachi. If you're craving absolutely delicious sushi, hibachi, and takeout, let our friends at Utero Hibachi treat you accordingly. They are conveniently located inside the University Mall food court in Tuscaloosa. Delivery for them can be found on Crimson2go and on Waitr. As you walk in, just tell the good folks there that the guys at Touchdown Alabama Magazine sent you, and they will treat you accordingly, that being Utero Hibachi. But folks, comment your responses down on our YouTube page. How excited are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about Najee Harris being back for his senior year? And what do you think becomes of Brian Robinson? Does he go to fullback H-back? Does Alabama try to still use him at running back? Does he potentially pursue the portal? What happens in your mind in terms of Brian Robinson? Comment your thoughts on the bottom of the page there. Really excited to see what will take place in terms of spring ball, where Alabama's defense is concerned, where the coaching moves are concerned. After February 5th, we can see some moves on the coaching staff. Just really amped up about what will take place for Crimson Tide football here as we transition into spring ball. But Najee Harris coming back, the big news of this week. With that being said, folks, We're going to go to our first break here on In My Own Words, the podcast. Got a little tongue-tied there. But before we do that, got to give one final shout-out to our guys at STSFootwear.com with the Roll Tide shoe. The detailing on this, absolutely splendid. You want to be the ultimate Alabama fan, and I'm not talking smoke. You really want to be the ultimate Bama fan. Get your hands on these babies right here. The limited edition Roll Tide shoe, courtesy of our guys at STSFootwear.com. If you use the code TDAlabama, you earn $15 off your next purchase. Can't beat that whatsoever. Go to STSFootwear.com. You'll be very glad that you did. Also, you can download the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app for your iPhone, the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you have the Android phone, the podcast options at the bottom of the screen. When we come back to continue the next segment of the show, we will dive into the Alabama secondary and how I see it looking for 2020. Don't touch that dial, folks. Just getting cranked up on In My Own Words. What's up, college football fans? You can catch the hottest show in the streets, that being In My Own Words, the podcast, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Subscribe to Touchdown Alabama Magazine for the best in Tide football.